Yes. It's high again.
His eyes are big axes.
And do some perfect audio sweeping. Should be on Disco Elysium. Hell yeah. Man, I know what the Britons want. Also, that Rule Britannia song is it's an interesting one, isn't it? I love it. Never will be slaves. Interesting. Guilty conscience much? Yes, Rule Britannia. Britannia rules the waves. I love it. Like, all it is like, it reminds me of just like, well, in modern day, I suppose. Hey, it's Charlie! How you doing, Charlie? We're just talking about Britain right now for a moment. But, there's this, national pride that I suppose, like, the Americans have, like the USA, USA. And I'm not even American, I'm, like, from Canada, but I feel it in my heart because I've just been exposed to the media. Yes, yes, all the bombast and the pomp, I love it. I love it. But, I think before the USA was definitely the GB. Friggin' Britannia! Which I can relate to in my heart. Oh, you're just at work. That's good stuff. I'm just starting this stream right now. Oh. You started at what, 9? I guess, Robin? Just drinking some coffee. Yeah, all the Patriots left. They all left and went to the States. The Patriots. Oh, so this is good. So, yesterday when I streamed this, we lined a lot of cool things up. Like karaoke. I can find the guy on the beach. What other things did I line up? There's a few more. But I don't know. I love the idea of patriotism, because I don't actually genuinely have it, so I have this, media version. Like, listening to Bruce Springsteen. Born in the USA. Hear that once, I get all fired up. I'm not even American. Crazy. It's nonsense. A few power chords is what it is. That's the real trick. So, now to get out of that, to get back into the game. Who put? Oh God, I gotta find this guy. Take on the responsibility. Confront the pig. Is there anything else I had to do? Man, I love drinking heavily creamed and sugared coffee. Okay, so someone's been running around with your sidearm, pretend to be a police officer, meet her near the thing, da-da-da, at 10. Okay. What other things I was doing? There's something about this guy's composure, and I'm not too sure of it. I've already got these guys' info. Come on. Wait, if you're in... Whereabouts in the England as you? North, South, Midlands? You know what I think is crazy? The craziest thing I think of absolutely all the differences between, like, over the pond and here is that their chips are named... instead of Lay's potato chips, they got frickin' Walkers, Crisps. Insanity. Pure insanity. It's like talking to animals. Walkers, Jesus. It already has a good name, Lay's. Save the ink. Let's talk to him. Have I,
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Ooh, rhetoric. Poor underprivileged grandma ratted out the lady driver. Need to get my rhetoric up. No, I think the chips fundamentally are the same, because they use, the same potato, same method. It's just the marketing and the branding that I hate. the actual, product I like. But what kind of land would use such ineffective marketing as that? From Lay's to Walkers? Look at that, 17,000 words. Have to use your whole mouth to pronounce it. Lay's just rolls off your tongue. Ah, give me some Lay's. Right? Also, I was dealing a present for my cat. I'm back now. Ooh! How is your cat? What color is it? So, I'm with here. This is my sister's cat where I live. But You can see him because he's a sleepy boy. Look at this. But you can't really see him because he's covered in a blanket, but you can see his paw there. Jonathan Fuzzboy. Professional Fuzzboy cat, that guy is. Professional cat. Jesus. Almost as professional as my setup here. Alright, so rhetoric. Minus rhetoric. Oh, that's not good. Rhetoric. All my gear gives me stuff that I don't want. Do. Wait, plus rhetoric? No, minus. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to gamble it. The tabby one is Hunter. She's got 3 legs. Really? Brings you presents? Like little things? 2 cats. One's gray and white and one is tabby. Oh, that's pretty sweet. What kind of presents? See, Jonathan the cat, he likes to meow. He's a meow boy. He doesn't give presents. He is the present. And he's very aware of it. Oh, I'm here. He's very, very funny in that way. Wait, do I have anything that reduces my rhetoric? Nope, plus rhetoric. Am I smoking? I gotta smoke, maybe. Gonna hurt my health, but it'll be worth it. Oh, I think I already smoked recently, so I can't do it again? What the hell? You know what? I'm rolling the dice.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way.
Little mice and birds recently huge bugs every day.
This is about business, remember.
That's fun. So my friend Christian, I think he was in the stream yesterday. He was saying his cat goes out and gets mice and stuff and brings it back, and then eventually will just bite their heads or something in front of them for dramatic flair for everyone, like some sort of gladiator in the arena, bringing their kill and then look how good I am. Oh, and bite their face off. Crazy cat logic. Little mice, birds, and recently big bugs. Today's bug was earlier than usual, but also dead and mangled, so I'm not sure if it's ready to give it. That's it was just it was earlier today, also dead and mangled. Maybe it was just I love that. Cat gifts. That means they like you. They're willing to kill several smaller animals for their enjoyment and for your enjoyment. In their mind, anyways. Okay, start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember? Hey, you seem to like a really successful entrepreneur. Would you like to support a member of the local police force?
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
After all this mess, the broken seals, lying to you, come on.
Oh my god, you're lying to me? Think of this as an investment.
An investment? What kind of investment?
Or you could not make this about corruption and go with something even wilder.
Oh frick, should I make it even wilder? Let me see. An investigation of me, a highly experimental human being. My risk-reward ratio is freaking insane. Investing into me, not telling your employer about your operation here. I'm a policeman. It's an investment in good relations with the RCM. It's an investment in your customer base. Gotta prime that pump, man. I think that's the one I'm gonna do because that's the funniest one.
Fair point. You can't have a successful business without a loyal customer base. How much is your loyalty worth?
5 real? 10 real? 1 million real. Kind of a big step on that second one. Very exponential. Shockingly exponential. But I think, 10 bucks?
10 real is a bargain for that kind of investment. You got it, my man.
Bye. Huh. That was weird. So I just took 10 bucks from him. That's good. That's half my rent. Because I need to get in Gart's good book so I can sing my sad, 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 sad karaoke. Alright, so we're on a mission. Cryptozoologist. Guy wandering around. Money for Gart. Ooh. Have I been over here? Oh, Jesus. There's no way out, eh? Ah. So quiet, this game, suddenly. I was like, is the audio off? But... wait a sec, is it? Audio. No, I think it's just quiet. It's like... Wait, what? It went back! You got a free place to stay, though, right? You don't have to keep paying Gart. That's true. But I want to be in Gart's good books. Like, that's a good idea, though. I could sleep in that lady's thing. The one that I swindled out of her place so she has to move. The one who sold her house so I could, essentially... get anything? Maybe. I was like, clean my clothes. Oh. Sound of life in the north. A washboard scrub, filth from fabric. Oh, we know who that is. Old Lady Scrub-a-Dub. I think I've talked to these guys before, but... Oh. Who's okay, I will. Children. Ooh.
A drop in temperature, an easy flow of air, an empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on hitch steps. Just silence.
Freaking lorries. Look at this. You know this is a European game. Huh. What did that smoke smell like?
Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over the building. Its branches are dripping with rain and snow. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with a black asphalt. The asphalt, first laid, is grey already. A row of tenements are under construction in the distance.
Who are the people who live across the road?
A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. 4, 18, 21, 4.
How do you have 2 4s in lottery numbers?
Machine rattles a drawer full of silverware.
That doesn't make sense. You can't get the same number twice.
His boyfriend is on his way home. He brings tins of meat and vegetables with him. Their pockets are heavier with money, but only slightly.
What about the bus stop?
Number 312D. Young girls used to come here, huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to school. It has not run for 8 years. There were not enough girls to sustain its cost.
Not enough girls to sustain buses, eh? Typical. What about the road?
Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. The landowners have filled the craters with money. It is a vital artery of the flow of trade.
That is enough.
The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl of his hair.
So that was weird, right? Like that there was no sound, that suddenly hella sound after I... Yeah, right? Now there's sound? Or it was nothing. That was weird. Okay. A tiny little thing that I can duck under, but won't let me go. Hey. I think I've talked to these guys.
Hey, Tequila. Welcome to reality. How's it treating you?
The 30-something Lycra TM clad man takes a sip from his beer. Not too hot. I'm on a 50-year losing streak. What did I say? Oh, I just left. Okay. How is it treating me? I've re-entered reality to conquer it, to to bend it to my will. I am the law. Well, that sounds fun.
That's the spirit. I used to shape reality into my image a long time ago. Those days are over now.
He looks at his poop-stained lycra. Is it lycra or lycra? Lycra? Because lycra's an actual thing. Anywho, jacket with a grim expression.
Sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom Spiral Land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
Everything that's going on in this game, and it's the lottery numbers that don't make sense to you. I'm like, hold up. I'm like, wait a sec. I found a dead guy on a bridge who like fell in and died, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I see these lottery numbers, I'm like, hold the phone. What, are we not gonna have like some sort of, you know, reasonable lottery numbers here? Like, I'm just like pulled out of
This
the
guy's
illusion
your
of the game.
buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of drunks.
What do you guys do around here?
We are saving the world.
He looks at his comrades.
Please. Please don't go. Don't go.
Begs the man in the pipe.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me.
Pretty sweet. I mean, when things don't work out, you turn to a pirate. That's nice. What is Tequila Sunset? You keep saying it. I know it's Tequila Sunrise by the Eagles, the band.
It's you. You're Tequila Sunset.
How do you know this?
We've met before. Don't you remember?
No.
Aha.
Takes sips from his
Do
beer.
you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be?
I do.
Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
For some reason, the name tequila fills me with a foreboding. Maybe I shouldn't learn what it means. Go on.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday, and by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth.
Okay, good. And he definitely cleared that ambiguity for me. Wait, did we meet on Friday?
Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting.
Takes another sips and continues.
You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
It's relatively high concept.
Does that sound like something you'd do? Yeah, probably. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
What happened then?
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling.
Oh, yes, you do, Bratushka. The only thing better than that is putting the pedal to the metal after you kiss the tie. And off we go.
One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs. Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in.
Naturally.
Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jet.
Brewskis.
Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic.
I love how articulate and like well-spoken this idiot doom spiral is. But like just like throws in a few little like slang words in there just to sound cool with it. Yeah, me and the boys, we definitely went down to the water park and we got a few brewskis in us.
What we
Brewski.
saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach, you revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs, "The time hath come!"
Sounds pretty sweet.
So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked
Cat?
what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for tequila sunset, the end of all things."
Oh god, what happened next? Say nothing. It's more it's more dignified that way. Every word I said was true. Tequila Sunset will break the looms of reality. Oh god, what happened next?
Your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty, and through the ice.
Your hands cramp on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice, whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit,
Ugh.
like some kind of sea monster.
Don't make that poop part.
When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though, and the carriage had sunk too deep.
Well, I got my badge.
Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to.
As one does, that makes sense.
We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on.
Wait, so is Tequila Sunset an event or a name? My real name is Harry. Tequila Sunset, huh? Sounds pretty good. Well, I'm gonna go with this one.
I'm not sure. I think you were the event.
Makes
Tequila
sense.
Sunset. You know, as opposed to a Tequila Sunrise, which is long gone.
And also, they didn't want to get copyright struck by the Eagles, am I right? Break. Well, my real name is Harry.
No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real name is Tequila Sunset. Just embrace it, brother.
I love this. It's just like, no, that's what your mom called you. It's just like, well, Tequila Sunset's just what you're calling me too, so freaking change it. How long did we party for?
Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women.
Oh, this is spice.
How they're beautiful and also
Oh.
girls and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad.
Whoa!
After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Goodness me, goodness my.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
Goodness me, okay. Did I tell you anything specific about the person that effed me? Or did I mention losing anything? Did I say anything about my colleagues? Did I say anything about the case? Politics? Find a cop. Okay, let's start with the beginning.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
Please, don't open that door.
I got health.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Rosemary.
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit.
Did I mention losing anything?
Beside your gun and your badge, you said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one.
Did I say anything about my colleagues?
You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style.
I hate that.
It's more like you were cramping theirs.
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show.
Did I say anything about the case?
Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop.
Did we talk about, politics?
Yeah, you said that you'd really behaved unreasonably and failed to uphold your responsibilities as a representative of the coalition.
Did you get a read of what kind of cop I was?
You kept calling yourself a goddamn superstar who'd cleared 501 cases.
I only did 200 and something.
As you've already determined, the actual number is just over 200. But what's a little embellishment between friends?
I mean, functionally, they're about the same number. I mean, like, 200's basically, like, 250. And 250 is basically half of 500. And then if you're at half, you just round up. That makes sense.
No thanks to the squares at the precinct, as you put it.
I don't need to hear anymore.
It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs.
Seem like you're characterized by the storytelling ability. Want to tell me another one sometime?
Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not?
He's like,
better than a beach bum.
yeah, want to tell me how you became an idiot doom spiral? No, actually, I've heard enough stories for a lifetime. They S-U-C-K suck. Goodbye. Now I'm gonna get this one.
It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
The gleam in his eyes and the slouch in his posture is so incredibly familiar.
What you need.
Booze. Did you already forget our party? The thing I relayed to you earlier. So, have you got anything for good old idiot doom spiral?
Yes.
A bottle
yes.
for a story. Seems fair to me.
But I don't want to give you any of my alcohol. I might have uses for it. Actually, that's not true. I'm not even drinking. That's good maths. Well done. That's right. What was it? Some quick maths? Here, I got some potent Pilsner. Commodore Red. Union. Special Strike Brew. Here. Yeah, you can have this garbage. You can have this garbage.
Ah, this is what they use to keep the working man going.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
One of the other bums interjects. Gurgles the near comatose man.
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder/junior partner at a high-concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm.
Ooh, is this guy related to that game thing I found? In the, like, abandoned building?
I used the profits from my agency to finance what I call a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane.
Wait, how many people did you have working for you?
22 full-time employees.
Wowee.
An all-star team. A potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about them often kept me up well into the morning hours.
Did the jogging help? Oh, poor boss man. Oh, geez, he really has the interests of all of his employees that he indentures into them. I really feel for him. Did the jogging help?
It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world.
I wonder if I can get this off of him. I took those kids' jacket, now I need this guy's.
But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit.
Why exercise is bad for you? Listen, I played Disco Elysium. I saw a guy who owned a business and stuff, and as soon as he put on a tracksuit, he became an alcoholic. So I don't want that to happen. What happened?
One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
Jingle, jangle, jingle. I played Fallout recently.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see? At least, that was the plan.
Get rid of the jangle.
I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly.
How wet we talking exactly?
Wet, okay? It was raining really hard.
There's traces of diversion in his voice. Whoa, Jesus.
I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox.
How?
Which was useless.
How? You don't have a key ring? Just put all your keys on it.
Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
There's something funny about saying how good you are mid thing like this. Like this guy's just like, I was stuck in the rain, it sucked and stuff. Saying ouch empathizes. This is just saying how sweet I am. Saying nothing would be what I would do in reality. I'm gonna say nothing. So I'm gonna continue listening.
Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass.
Oh, he took him off the
middle of
wait.
a heavy shower. But when life knocked me
Just
down,
forget.
I always got up.
Oh yeah, okay. You're right. He did answer that. I just immediately forgot because I was just like, what the hell? Let me see. Is it possible? When you're distracted by this. See, this is also crazy. If you're distracted by freaking keys jangling, just freaking. That doesn't even make sense taking them off your keyring. What? You know what? This guy's whole story doesn't even make sense. As soon as someone takes their key rings off because the jangle. Look at this. Look at this bad boy. This is just like some mess of keys that I just happen to have around, right? So I throw this bad boy in here. Like, the key ring isn't the problem. Like, it's not even that loud. This story is nonsense. It's just like the lottery. As soon as you take the keyring off, that's where I get off on this freaking story. Of it making any sense.
So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key.
I genuinely don't believe this guy's story. It's like, okay, so what happened next?
I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation.
I love it. It was late, right? And like the people that do answer get up in the middle of the night just to be like, hey, we're not buying anything. Like, who the hell sells at like 3 in the morning?
People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
So what we're learning is this guy was a salesman. I could relate to that. That's true. You can't trust salesmen. Or admin, as they put it. Because all their words are insincere.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there.
Oh, what a night. Imagine if you lived really far away. And you just
when
ran
I
home.
reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in.
Sensible doom spiral, you know. You know what? You're right. You're right. I think I have a bias that I try to see everyone as reasonable.
Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this.
Wait a second. Anyways, long story short, my life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten in my apartment for years. The only thing you were missing was your keys. Just get a new key. Just go to the locksmith. See, I think this guy's definitely, from what I'm seeing from the information he's providing, just lazy. Oh, lost my keys in the house. Guess I'm homeless now. I love this.
So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
Yeah, it is nothing like I've heard of. That was crazy. Total nonsense. Those were like lottery numbers on the radio. Just freaking nonsense. Wait, is that it? I feel like there's some steps missing. I'm almost homeless myself. Doesn't seem that bad. Look on the bright side. You got one hell of a story. You do realize all of this is your own fault, idiot. I literally can't believe it. That's pretty much what I've actually been saying.
Me neither, Tequila. When I lost my keys, I lost more than access to my apartment. I also lost my leverage over humanity. I wasn't a high-concept creative director anymore. I was just some homeless asshole with a premium Sansaric Lycra tracksuit.
Man, this guy's life was really balancing on that apartment, eh? Jeez Louise.
You can't imagine what that does to a man's confidence. Anyway, that was all the story one bottle gets you. Almost empty, this one.
Why do you keep losing all your stuff?
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece Lycra tracksuit?
I feel like this guy was actually working for Lycra. Like, I love this. It was just like, can't you see my life is terrible and I'm living in a gutter and drinking in the mud with my sweet $2,000 two-piece Lycra tracksuit that is extremely fashionable. It's really good and it's breathable, keeps me warm and cool somehow. It's just like, it's just like it's especially since it says Lycra and then it has the TM too. It's like, come on, guy, you just can't give it up.
I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks.
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
Oh, what's this about your lost jacket?
Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my Lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila?
You mean this jacket that I discovered on the boardwalk and had cleaned on a whim for some reason? He examines for a moment, a look of consideration on his brow.
Nah, this isn't it. Found? That's medium concept stuff. Totally not my style.
So you're saying there's another lost jacket there, somewhere. Freaking, come on, man. This is your jacket. You just don't remember. Just put it on.
It's a big world out there, Tequila. A lot of lost jackets in it. Don't know why you'd think this could possibly be mine.
Hey, Doom Spiral. Ain't that the jacket you stole the other week?
Not on your fucking life, Rosemary. What's wrong with you people? Like I'd be caught dead wearing fawn, like some low-concept bicycle courier.
You know what? I do kind of like this guy, you know? At least this guy has standards. Not in his booze, but his fashion.
Tell you what, Tequila. Why don't you just hang on to that one? I'll get another jacket someday.
Secret task complete. Find Idiot Doomspiral's jacket. Oh, it was it.
At least you got a nice jacket for your troubles.
Didn't you say this jacket sucked, Kim, in the past? He was like, why are you picking up that garbage jacket? Now it's nice. I want to hear the story of your name again.
What's in a name?
What is a man, right? A miserable pile of lies. Looks up at the sky as if pondering a question. Then he turns back to you.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
One of the other bums interjects.
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George. But around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder slash
Yeah. Wait. On second thought, I've heard enough.
So you don't want to just hear the same story again? Okay. Huh.
You got anything more stories? Jesus, I don't want to hear the same one over and over again.
I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch my drift.
Here, have some more of this garbage.
Classy.
You're welcome. Oh, wait, no. Commodore Red is good stuff. No! Ah, whatever. That's the bottle to push the cork through the bottleneck.
The tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend particular to Martinez. That
Lifts the bottle to his lips, takes a
I
luxurious
first
sip.
heard it from a former bicycle courier in Koran. There are many variations on the basic story, and the details often conflict. What everyone agrees on is that nobody knows the exact nature or identity of the phenomenon.
Phenomenon?
Are you telling the story of the headless?
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary.
Endless.
Summer of 44. 17-year-old Gertrude Het is walking home from a late shift at the harbor.
As one
It's
does.
almost midnight. She stops for a cigarette near the canal.
As one does.
The streets are warmed by a southerly breeze. The lights of a passing motor carriage bloom and fade in the distance. In the harbor's dark, her cigarette is a beacon, dancing alone. The image comes to you effortlessly, as though you'd walked the same streets yourself 1,000 times.
Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace and quiet the canal provides.
And he looks up at the sky as if to search for peace himself.
What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. Startled, she turns around, and what does she see?
I don't know. What?
A headless man, wearing a fawn tracksuit,
Oh my
riding
God.
a horse. That's right. It's the headless fawn rider.
Why did I give you my good booze?
Rumored to be searching for his legendary fawn cap that went missing when he lost his head.
Whoa!
Woe is right, my friend. Gertrude Het may have been the first to witness the headless fawn rider, but she wasn't the last. Oh no.
Tell him about the two feminists by the locks.
Ah, don't like that.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said they were feminists. Everyone always misremembering this stuff.
This wouldn't be the De Ponte Delgado case, would it?
What? You know it.
I've read the case file. But please, go on.
Ooh, look at Kim knows something.
Right. Early autumn of 46. Ula de Pont and Eva Delgado are fishing near the waterlock long after the sun has set. The wind picks up. A sky already dark now blackens. Water starts falling from above. The first cold rain of the season.
Two women stand on a small outcropping of rocks. One of them is wearing a purple raincoat.
Purple
Thin
raincoat.
lines reach out from the rods into the sea. Small droplets start appearing on the surface with increasing frequency.
The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods.
Don't
Oh!
don't turn around.
I accidentally pressed spacebar and I lost a bit of it.
When she sees something. Her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment building believe lightning has struck.
That'd be insane. Lightning does not sound like a shrieking woman.
But there is no lightning. Only a heavy downpour and the silhouette of the headless Falm Rider looming on the horizon.
I love the modern take on a, classic.
Ula makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock and disappears into the cold, cold canal with nary a sound.
Just plop, gone.
Her body is never recovered.
You look straight in the eye. Ooh, what happened to Ula DuPont?
Word on the street is that she, you know.
He made a finger pistol with his right hand and lifts it to his chin.
Gave herself facial deconstruction surgery. Real grisly stuff.
That part, at least more or less, corresponds to the case file.
See? Told you.
Goodness. I'm yawning like crazy. The man takes a long, satisfied sip.
Anyway, that's the story of the headless Falm Rider. Pretty crazy, huh?
Who was the headless rider before he died?
Well, Tequila, that's part of the legend. No one knows for sure. There are a couple of possibilities, though. Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his cover and got beheaded by the vicious gang he had infiltrated. Now he rides, searching for his lost-found cap, plotting revenge.
O headless brother, where art thou?
Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered off course during a steeplechase, ended up in somebody's backyard, and got decapitated by an exceptionally taut clothesline.
As one does.
Even decapitation couldn't stop his commitment to the sport. Are you that committed?
I feel like I am.
Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, and the fall was so violent that his head came clean off. Coincidentally, at that exact moment, a horse happened to pass under him, and his beheaded corpse mounted it, where it remains to this day. But then, no one really knows.
For some reason, this does strike you as the most plausible theory of them all.
Got a hunch that it was that undercover cop. I'd want revenge too. But he was a jockey. Seems super committed to the sport. Gotta agree, your theory sounds the most plausible. None of those sound really plausibly honest. I'm gonna go with this one.
Isn't it? All the pieces fit together perfectly. That's how I know it's right. Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories?
Okay, whatever became of the headless... yeah, I've seen everything.
Hard to argue with that, I suppose.
That's the reality situation for you. You think you got a handle on it, then blam!
Blam!
Throw some wild
Blam.
shit at you.
Actually, I should move me over here, like here.
That's why it's critical to stay well hydrated.
Yeah, there we are. Yes. Yes. That's crazy. I've got an even crazier story.
Yeah? Why don't you go eat shit, Tequila? There's no way you know a better one than that.
The gnomes of Jeroma dissolves its victims with acid.
Acid Gnomes? Sounds like a stupid, low-concept band name.
Okay, whatever. Became a freaking headless flan rider then.
No one knows. Some say he stalks Martinez to this day, and can be seen near the canal when the clock strikes midnight.
Midnight clock strike canal.
He won't, though, because it's just a stupid legend.
Aye. I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
You got any other more urban myths?
I actually do
Myth?
have one. The strangest of them all. But I'll need to fortify myself before I can tell that one.
God damn you.
Do you
God
have
damn you.
anything to fortify old Doom Spiral? Tell me you got some story juice.
Yeah, I got a potent pilsner.
Not much. but it will do. This last one is the most Martinet story I've ever heard.
He takes almost a comically long swig. Thus fortified, he continues.
I've never heard it mentioned outside of here. At first, I thought it was a joke, to be honest. But I've been on the coast 8, 9 months now, and in that time I've seen at least 3 expeditions come through, searching for something.
A shovel hits the sand somewhere behind the reeds, near an abandoned construction yard. The young men look over their shoulders suspiciously. The sound of their digging seems loud in the sudden silence.
Cryptids?
Magic animals? No, man, this is serious stuff.
Place you called home?
No, Tequila. Most people already know where they live. It's guys like you and me that are the exceptions.
Your lost keys?
Hey, hey! Fuck you, Tequila.
Alright, Jesus, what kind of expeditions?
All kinds. I've seen archaeologists, gangsters, even a bunch of ad agency types.
Ah.
I'm telling you, Tequila, this thing's got a pull on certain kinds of people.
Wait, what do you mean, certain kind of people?
You know, obsessive types. People with predilections.
What do you like to be talking here?
Some of those expeditions come back after a week or so, looking haggard and dejected. Others don't return at all. The first time I saw one of these expeditions, I thought they were fucking with me. There was no way it could be true. It was just too high concept, even for me.
Wait, there's no way. It can't be. Or can it?
I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story, to be perfectly honest. You're in a fragile state, and it might be too much for you to handle.
You can lay it on me, I can handle it.
Okay, fine, I'll tell you. But I'm warning you, it's pretty out there. Our story begins at a legendary design studio, right here in Martinez.
Ooh.
There was this designer. His exact name is lost to history, but in life, he was a legend. Made it big in Aranya, where he did some real pioneering work on grotesque and sans serif typography. A fucking genius, man.
Sans serifs? But aren't there serifs in this typology right now? If I'm looking at it? Like here? Here? Here?
That is, if he even existed. Who knows? It's an urban legend, after all.
He existed, all right. You feel it deep within your basal ganglia. He was as real as you are.
What the F word are you talking about?
I'm talking about...
Anyway, sometime later he started his own personal studio here in Martinez. And that's when he started working on some really wild stuff. I'm talking some glass-smooth, forward-looking design language, the kind of thing that would totally overthrow the old regime, design-wise.
Interesting. I wonder if he's talking about, like, signs?
But then,
like neon
something
signs?
turned. You see, it's widely known that nose candy and pioneer graphic design work go hand in hand.
Whoa, wait. Nose candy?
You know Tequila, nose candy, the white railroad, party powder.
The kids on the streets also call it Snow Day.
Ooh, snow day. Frick, why didn't you just say that? Oh, frick.
Sinus salt, the white knight.
Can't see, for its popularity among the aristocratic class of the prior century.
Yes, that's more about for me. Pardon me, could you get the Count C, please?
He's talking about cocaine.
Oh, you mean cocaine. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Tequila. You
Well, I
know
thought it was Count
exactly what
Chocula.
I'm talking about.
He gives you a camaraderie bump on the shoulder as a couple milliliters of booze slosh out of his bottle. That's what happened.
You've got to understand, the work this guy was doing was so high concept that regular amounts of cocaine just weren't cutting it. By the end, they were bringing it in by the lorry load.
Lori.
Now, as you might imagine, snorting that much cocaine can't be healthy for a regular human, right?
Right.
Yes.
Wrong. Do it all the time.
Ooh, all the time.
All day, baby.
Hey, tequila, pay attention. The story goes that one day he was balls deep in work on what he thought would be his pièce de résistance, an advert so minimal it contained neither text nor images, just pure white.
Interesting concept.
Apparently the idea was too high concept even for this genius. He dropped dead right at his desk before he could finish. His last words are recorded to have been, "It's as white as a blizzard of cocaine."
Huh. What a loss for the world of design. What a stupid idea. Or say nothing. I'm gonna say nothing.
But the story doesn't end there. Supposedly, when they performed the autopsy, the coroner discovered nearly 1/4 kilo of coke jammed into his nasal cavity. That's right. 250 grams of blow had accumulated in there over the years. We're talking high-grade Saramaritsian pure. Not that cut-rate shit your grandma does.
Like, why would you need to do more if it's stuck inside of your nose already?
There are those who believe the designer was buried with this 1/4 key of nose candy still lodged in his sinuses. That's what those expeditions are looking for.
Oh, interesting. They're looking for his body for that?
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull.
Wow.
No. Wow.
And why do people think the skull is here in Martinez?
Here's the kicker. This designer, this lead designer of a world-famous design studio, was born in Martinez. A local boy, Martin Martinez. That's why he brought his studio here, back to where it all began. And that's why they buried him here, too. Perhaps right under Ab's pipe there.
He points to the pipe.
Or probably further down the coast, or in some yard in Martinez proper. A hidden mausoleum, no one knows exactly.
No, my grandma always told me his grave lay somewhere on the islets on the bay.
This is ludicrous and physically impossible. Sinuses can contain that amount of anything.
Now, detective. Always the skeptic.
Always a skeptic.
My only question is, where does one get a shovel?
Oh my god. Where does one get a shovel, am I right? Because we're looking for the cocaine skull? This is funny, watch. Oh my Christ. Oh my god. Just give me the freaking... Yeah. Where's the shovel? Ah, yes. I'm gonna set this up so if I need a laugh track, I'm gonna use it again. So, oh! Don't. Alright. Nope. Oh, God, why is everything never work out? Oh my god, okay. There we go. That laugh track will come in handy. It's gonna pay for itself. Alright. What do these expedition plans do with it? Rosemary, you said something about inlets? What have you learned from each other's expedition? I'm just gonna say this one.
The archaeologists say they want to put it in a museum. The gangsters say they want to sell it on the black market. And the ad agency guys say they're seeking inspiration.
Bullshit. They just want to snort it.
They just want to snort it.
But you could beat them to it, Harry. You could snort the magic skull cocaine instead.
That's right. I want the magic skull of cocaine.
I'm pretty sure they all just want to snort it, though.
And why wouldn't they, eh? Sounds like right strong stuff.
Rosemary, you said something about inlets?
Don't listen to him or his grandma. He's just making things up.
No, my grandma told me. I've heard other people say it too. That it's underwater. Or no, maybe it was the storm sewers.
Or maybe it's in the air. Or in an ancient step pyramid offshore.
Yeah, maybe.
Pyramid? Now that would be something.
That would be something. What have you learned from the other expedition?
They're pretty vague about it in general. The gangsters like to claim they're looking for the grave of a friend, with picks and shovels. The archaeologists act all official about it, saying they're conducting serious research. Honestly, I think they're not really scientists, just rich.
Now, those are like go hand in hand.
The junkies, for some reason, are pretty upfront about it. They just say they're looking to snort some blow out of a dead man's nasal cavity.
That makes sense.
Honest men on an honest quest. You should join them.
I should join them.
By now, I'd say I know about as much about it as anyone on the coast.
Okay, I'm convinced. Let's go find it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on just a minute. Finding it right now is literally impossible.
What?
Why?
For one, the way is blocked by that big lorry that says Delta Logistics Company on the side. You definitely have to search the area behind that lorry too, yet it is impassable. And second, outfitting an expedition like that is expensive. It'd have to be a big production to do the Cocaine Skull justice. You need new gear, people who know what they're doing, all kinds of provisions.
I am all of these people.
It's just not feasible within the economic and temporal frame of our current setup. Matter of fact, unless a bunch of money just falls out of the sky, we might never know what's up with that skull.
I have to agree. We barely have what we need to solve the case we've got now. We can't afford to run around chasing after quasi-mythical pieces of drug paraphernalia. Besides, it would look extremely bad for the RCM to be caught up in something that has the word cocaine writ large on it. The PR is tricky on this.
Ah, damn, that's too bad.
Wait. Maybe there's another way. Maybe up around the coast. Don't give up now.
Yeah, well, that's the reality situation for you. Who knows, though? Maybe someday we'll get our chance.
Are there any more stories?
Not that I can think of, currently.
Does that make sense? You have been drinking a lot.
That might be the case. Yes.
Be seeing you.
You too, Tequila Sunset.
Okay, let's step aside for a second. I have something I want to talk about.
Okay, Kim.
I've
What do
been
you got?
meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style.
My style? What about it?
I'm glad you finally started dressing a little more like an officer of the RCM. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Your half-brother is proud to stand beside you.
You like this? I feel like it's really cramping my style. Say, why aren't you wearing a pig suit? But Kim, Cocaine Skull! See, I'm kind of feeling that too. I'm like, do you not hear how cool this sounds? Regular cop, regular clothes. You like this? No. Say, why aren't you wearing a pig suit, is what I'm gonna say.
Officers above the rank of sergeants are granted wide discretion when it comes to their uniforms. The idea is that civilians are more likely to open up to someone who's not dressed like a typical cop. You know the expression, the clothes make the man? The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world.
I gotta admit, the style here that Kim has is good. Bomber jacket, cool pants, freaking boots. I'd rock it. This is just a hoodie. Okay, you're a sharp-dressed man. What could be, we could be style buddies. I'm not taking style tips from someone who's dressed like a mega Beano Clark, am I right? I'm not gonna take style tips from someone who dresses up like some washed-up, tip-top racer. Nah, I'm gonna do this.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, detective.
A warm smile.
Oh, here we go. I like having Kim on my
Anyway,
side.
we should probably get back to the case. Let's go.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy?
What are you talking about?
So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine.
See?
Oh.
There it is, Bratushka! The spirit! Let's buy the spirit! 300 real is a lot, but this has to be done! It's our end game!
Oh, frick, endgame. This is another stupid drunk idea I'm having, attributing to my necktie. This is the mystery, and the truth is I need to buy that spirit. What if I don't want to listen to my necktie anymore? Wait. This is a mystery, and the truth is I need to buy that spirit.
Exactly! This is no ordinary drink! It's what our relationship has been building towards all these years! This is the climax, the mystery, the virginal sigh! That drink is special! You have to buy it from him! Get it off him! Kill him if you have to! Our ultimate fate depends on it!
That's what I like to hear.
The fate of many worlds.
The lieutenant looks at you, looking at the bottle of spirits, then at Rosemary, suspiciously.
Wait, the business venture you got set up here.
Oh. The system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I'm milking her like a bitch goat in the backyard.
What do you mean?
You see, friend, man makes his own luck. And I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of liquor ex-squeeze. Sold 2 to the fellows around here, and immediately invested the profit. Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now. I got everyone on my hook.
Spread his arm, smiled, crooked, toothless smile. I'm already hooking for Kuno, I think. Looks like you're on your own hook, too. Impressive entrepreneurship. Point to his vice stand. I approve. Got a permit for this little show? Oh. My necktie never spoke to me? Whoa, what? You didn't have a necktie talk to you? That guy talks to me all the time. I don't want to cramp this guy's style. I am a cop, but I don't want to be a cop.
Hook 'em and cook 'em, huh? You want to buy something? Let's keep it moving.
I'm off.
In the civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friend. But come back anyway.
Ooh, goodness. In Hyani.
Wow, you work hard.
I do.
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
I guess I do, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like a horse. A workhorse. For hard work.
What hard work did I do? What work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged.
Oh!
That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
Yeah, I ride a little. I effing ride till I die. I'm not sure if I ride. I ride a little, that's sensible.
A little. You make money.
That's true.
You got gills, baby. Got those black papers with the faces
Hell yeah.
of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco Negros and the Solas.
Hey. You bring in the Franco Negros and the Solas. You goddamn better believe I do.
It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
Yeah, I mean, I did take that bribe from that Joyce one. That's true. Can't say I didn't make that Sin guy give me some money either. That's true. Everett gave me money. Yeah, you know what? I have been taking a lot of bribes. You could say I took some money from that Manana guy, too. Oh, and then there's pawning stuff off to that suspicious Roy guy. Guess I've made some gills, sure. I mean, I've basically taken like 50 million bribes. I guess I've made some gills, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No, I'm actually not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
I love this. That Gart guy. That's actually true. He is. I would be way richer. The system's broke. Market for corrupt cops out there, but an immigrant cop have prices dumped it. But the immigrant cops have price dumped it. That's so funny. Taxes, man. I don't know. Why am I so poor?
Because of the taxes.
It was actually the taxes.
Jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy,
Goddamn
sell,
taxes.
walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
Every time I sneeze, really?
Every time you wipe your ass, they got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty,
Jesus.
extraction tax, alimony, one tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for.
Countries?
That makes them ask for more money from you. Here, total tax duties
Goddamn
add
taxes.
up to 98% of all your money.
98%? No way. Guess I'm free market fundamentalist now. You sure? Seems pretty big numbers. This isn't helping me solve my money problem. It's only making me into a free market type. You sure? It seems... You know what? I'm not sure about this. The taxes seem too high.
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed.
God
Can't
damn
you
it.
see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
Lean nipples are kind of a pain, but how will deregulation help me with that? No way. I guess I'm... yeah, I'm gonna opt in, but only a little, because... Yeah, I'm kind of curious of where this will go.
It's all about the tax issue, hustler. No other problem in the world is as pressing as top marginal tax rates. And don't you fucking forget it.
Goddamn taxes. I didn't think it was gonna be in this game. I do have several skill points. I'll do it. Oh! I'm thinking about taxes, getting all freaking upset. Okay, that's good. Wow, that was a long time. I was talking with those guys for a very long time. Like, it felt like I started my stream and then I started talking to those guys and it's now here. What was I even doing? Oh yeah, I was going down the beach to look for that guy. Oh. You should come back here when it snows. A strange feeling. It passes quickly. Doo-ba-doo-boo, I'm running around. Well, this look... Oh no, I've been here. But I very lightly remember what happened. Postcard. Okay. Oh, that's because I'm carrying the crowbar. Yeah, I think I was here before. I can't remember what I did. Oh yeah, this is where that dead guy was, right? Fell through the thing.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin.
Whoa, 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 this tear? You better believe I'm gonna get that.
There's some tear, 2 empty bottles of Tallulah.
A tragedy.
He shakes his head with genuine...
Wait, I can't pick him up? That is the sad part. Okay. Am I gonna fall? Oh! Whoa! Am I gonna fall through? Long way down to your death from here. 20 meters. 20 meters? 20 meters? Is that really 20 meters? 20 meters is insane. That's like 66 feet. 20 meters. Really that long? That, to me, does not look 20 meters. That being said, it's a video game. Okay. 20 meters. Okay, can't go this way. Huh. Okay. Boop-a-doop-boop-boo. Nothing over here. Be downwards. I have a feeling I'm gonna find something. Because, oh.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
Try to see inside.
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase.
Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside?
No. I won't
His
even
head.
try. You know,
He takes his glasses off.
I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
Yeah, maybe he freaking get better eyes.
This partner of his, Eyes, things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some other small talk.
Can you still shoot, though?
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I pass my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, look at this! Howdy.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
The blonde man stands next to his son, pointing at the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi. right?
Heidelstam.
I was
This
just
is my
telling my son
German.
about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Hmm.
Nice to meet you.
Hold on. Hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
Wait, what was that about window before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
What the hell? You and him know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
Rests his hands on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind them, the hem of the father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately. But I assume
Worms?
you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points at the building again.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
So fast about this, fascinating about an empty old building.
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hands and eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Wait, what the hell? Like, isn't this supposed to be like 1970? It feels like they're advanced technology.
Hold on. What's R&D?
Look at the building looming over me.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
Wait, what is R&D development? Research? Wait, what is research and development department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore.
He smiles brightly. Laugh lines around his eye.
You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
I don't think I've ever heard of this field electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that, Ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
Tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
So, there's like cybernetics, but at the exact same time, they don't have personal computers. But he has a radio computer. Huh.
He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind.
What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wiped his nose off on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
Pointing at the other buildings, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying that Feld Electric built the boardwalk. What happened to the engineers of the company? Why did the revolutionaries do with the advanced tape computers? How did the tape computer work? Did they work like radio computers? Let's just start from the top.
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer they were a big wheel, lighting up the coast.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers of the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
What did the revolutionaries do with the advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Decret de Mars.
Oh, interesting. What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
How'd the tape computer work? Did they work like radio computer?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
Interesting.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort.
Wompty Dumpty
It
Dum!
raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center?
That's what I heard too. Wompty Dumpty Dom Center.
He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world.
Okay, the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. Paul Ockerman, Keith, the Guy Juice. What are you talking about?
The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
You're making this up. Turn to the lieutenant. Kim, is he making this up? Come on. There's no place called the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center of the Arts.
In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
I've seen cooler things than that. I was going to get some of those. No, I'm going to say it's cool. Cool.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The felt playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
'07. Wait, the field playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Felt Playback Experience. But those
felt.
are
Why do I
incorrect.
keep saying field? Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
Want to talk about something else?
But of course, what else?
You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He brushes it off like it was nothing at all.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you were just profiling.
Could I have some of that unimportant money then? I mean, I've taken money from everyone else. I might as well.
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms.
He looks comfortable, his left hand squeezing his son's shoulder.
I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
By the way, you work out?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then.
Wait, what's Lomantang stick fighting?
It's an anthropological heritage of the Lomantang people. A martial art of sorts, but what not a lot of books mention is that it also carries a cultural significance among the Lomantangs, as it used to be the best means of showing off to look for a bride, which,
Oh wow, that really freaking...
interestingly enough, brings us to the socio-economic structure of the traditional and rural tribes of the Lomantang Isles, which...
He goes on to give you detailed overview of the way of life. The amiable, slightly nervous smile not once leaving his face.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying...
I don't really remember what I was saying. I'm not really interested in the practice. I just want to know how often you work out. Now and then. That's what I like. What, once a week? No, I don't remember what I was saying.
Then I guess everything got said, right?
He squints at his eyes, son. Okay. Great, thanks for all the interesting
No,
information.
thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
I guess. So, I got to internalize that other one. Can I internalize more than one thought at a time? Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center. Freaking so funny. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna unlock it because it sounded funny. Oh, I can. I can internalize 2 things at once. Interesting. Cool. Nice. Perfect next time getting ready for the end game. For the love of God, do not remove it till the magic happens. Buy the spears from him. Okay. End game. Good. Doobie-doop-boo. Check out this box. Oh, money.
You see, a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D.
I turn away. This is too much. Another power box charging. It's charged, nothing now. It's empty. Okay. Fence blocks the path. No way from here. Well, I just had to go listen to this guy for a... Oh! What's this? This looks like a crowbar. Oh, yes, money. Ah! And Nosafet. Nice. Perfect. Alright, let's continue down the coast. This is all new. This is all progress. 20 meters. 20 meters? Oh, look at this. Archaeologists. Are they looking for the crystal? Tiny cages carefully constructed. They look like lobster cages or crab cages. Let's see what this guy's about. Whoa, 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 whoa. Before I do that. This. Small amount of money? Yes.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
Oh my god. We've actually found the cryptozoologist.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Gary, the crypto-fascist.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and been waiting for you to get back home, for Christ's sakes.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Water lock's been fixed. It's fine. When I cross it, withhold the whole story. Yeah, I'm not telling him about my crap.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we go in.
He refastens a bit of netting that has become loose in the wind.
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
What sort of specialized techniques is a phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
It's a little bug? How big is this phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant.
Could see
One
Zaki's
known
cat
species
kill it?
of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusions up to you.
Seems puny, to be honest.
Why are you so interested in this stick bug? It doesn't seem like the colorful as some of the other cryptids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head. They don't say it. He could be like, so like it might not be great.
Would be glory itself.
Oh, my cat could take it. Yeah, the reason why they need the defense is cats. Huh, what have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Did you know? So interesting fact about cryptids, that pandas used to be a cryptid and no one believed them. Because they were like these like dancing clown men of the woods that would roll around and stuff and like be funny. And people, when they would see him, like, I can't freaking believe this. And then they'd tell people that there was, like, this dancing clown man who's black and white rolling around the woods, and they'd be like, that's crazy, that's fake. Until they found a panda, and they're like, holy Christ. They're like, oh my god. And then, yeah, like, that happened actually, like, not that long ago, like 120 years ago, I want to say, like the turn of the century, 1900s. It's apparently a thing. Yeah, it's real.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
Says brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback from it.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
What makes you think that a phasmid is here in Martinez?
There was a credible sighting here recently. A pair of teenagers described a creature that matched the Insulindian phasmid to an uncanny degree, despite not knowing what it was themselves. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulindian phasmid had died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Parthenogenesis? No. Genesis, the super band from the 80s?
Yes. The females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
That's pretty clever. Females reproducing without males, a travesty, a crime against passion and common sense. This arouses no special feelings in me.
And it shouldn't. Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate.
There's nothing dispassionate about the way he talks about the insect.
Tell me about these little traps you got here, these stupid little stick things.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Lena designed the trap?
Yes.
Says with some pride.
More than some, he admires this about her.
How do the traps work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out.
A lobster trap.
At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Oh, this guy's doing some poor science right here. So look at this. So he says, nearly all known phasmids are herbivores. So, of course, we hypothesize that this one might occasionally. So if you got verified facts that all of them eat vegetables and stuff, why wouldn't you use that instead of freaking locusts? Guess what? It's winter in Martinez. They don't have locusts. This guy's importing locusts? Ridiculous.
Inside the
that's
trees,
where I draw the
locusts
line. Locust
crawl
for
and
something.
tumble over
It's
one
like, oh,
another,
all known
tumbling,
rabbits
chittering
eat.
swarm.
It's like all known rabbits eat lettuce. So we're gonna put some shrimp in here because we heard that this rabbit might eat shrimp. Might. So we're gonna just use only shrimp to as bait in this. Now it's just like that's the stupidest thing. Use lettuce. That's what's been proven. That's the better science. This guy's lost all credibility and is now a joke. What will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
Yeah, you have given it some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
I still don't agree. I would still use plants. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, these locusts would die in the cold. They're a summer animal. Let me ask about something else.
Yes. What?
He seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Where Lena would be.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Reed crabs.
Let Lena down? Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the Phasmid somehow.
I didn't know the Phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She sighted the Phasmid?
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious Phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian Phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
This guy's coughing like crazy. Vid. Maybe you can go back to Whirling, warm up, come back and check her traps later? You should just give up on this beg hunt. Okay, I understand. Don't give up on things. I'm gonna say this one.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
I mean, you have bait in there. And if the Phasmid... Okay. The Phasmid. I'm a man. Big one. Would be that big. Okay. An animal of that size doesn't typically die in 12 hours or something, you know? So, and if you have it baited with locusts that are jumping around, somehow, snow locusts jumping around in this cage, they can eat that. That'd be like me eating a handful of food for a night. That's more than enough. So this guy's thing's unfounded. He's just being ridiculous. Just being ridiculous. Too cool guy here wearing a sweet hat. I'll admit the hat is sweet.
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
What if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
I mean, cryptozoology and detective work are basically the same. Chaos is my method, and I am its scion. I'm all in with this crypto stuff. I'm hooked. No, I'm gonna say we're the same.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
What do I do if the Phasmid's in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
Okay, where are these traps?
There are 4 in total.
1, 2, 3.
One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church.
Okay.
The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them...
He just a trap in front of him.
You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
The pursuit of knowledge is its own justification.
Is it?
He doesn't look too convinced with a small shrug indicating why not.
If you think it's important, you have been right before.
What if I encounter the Phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
White spray can.
It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
About a week? Lay it on me. Lay it on me thick. I don't want this, thank you very much.
Your choice. As I said, the chances of you encountering the Phasmid are next to zero.
But you feel you should have it on you. Something bad might happen. Don't mess around. Take the pheromone. It'll make you sexier.
Frick, should I have the pheromone? I don't believe it, but at the same time, my electrochemistry says I should. I changed my mind a little bit. Douse you with odd-smelling spray, a double helping as you present your other armpit, and then gives you a satisfied nod.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
He looks at the tenant with disdain and puts the spray back in his pocket. Alright, I'm ready to go.
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
That's what I do.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
Oh my god, how did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
So you're living like a childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
There's his eyes. Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
I don't. It's a profession, just like any other. Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do. It doesn't seem a lot like wishful thinking. I'm gonna see this one.
My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Your nerve endings tell you there is no such thing as a positive surprise.
Life surprise are most miserable. And has anything truly surprising ever happened to you?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid. Although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
Oh, interesting. Look at it. He said, but I have come close. And it didn't say the close enough to keep trying part. Or it's not typed here. Interesting. What kind of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts. Like the one that brought us here. To look for the Phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
You never discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered. And not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes.
Half?
2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
I wonder what they are. I wonder if it's going to be Panda and the Komodo dragon, because I know those two were one. Only 2 have been proven real?
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Hugo Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere.
Cave salamander.
We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
This is interesting. This guy kind of has a thing, because he was just like, he said most cryptids, like he said something right here. 2 out of 4,000 is not even 1%. Not improvably, then the Insulindian phasmid will be the third. I don't even know what to say. That's a small number of discoveries. I'm gonna say this, because it's true.
In fact, it is 0.05%. Ever more magnificent, should our search contribute to making that number 0.075%.
Not Jesus. You know this guy's from, actually, yeah, not. Thanks for explaining. Now about something else.
Yes?
Let's talk about specify cryptids.
Alright. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it, since you've offered to help. You need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena, or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
I know about the most dangerous cryptid, the Gnome of Jeroma. Enough tales then. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this one.
Formerly the most dangerous, yes. But do you know the most dangerous living cryptid?
What is it? The Andean kill bear?
He doesn't want to make it feel like you knowing it is some big deal.
Living? No.
The most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant, known colloquially as the dread moose.
The dread moose?
Yes. The dread moose subsists entirely on flesh. It has even been known to dig up fresh graves in search of sustenance.
Hold on. Does it also attack people? Okay, what does the dread moose look like? Wait, I'm gonna have that.
Human remains have been found deep in the forest, torn apart, then trampled into the mulch by large hooves. Infer from that what you will.
Okay, what does a dread moose look like?
Just like an ordinary Arden moose.
Oh, I got the Wompty Dompty Dom. Then how can you tell if it's the ordinary or dread kind?
You can't. That's what makes it so dreadful and hard to identify.
I'm not completely sure about this dread moose. I'm 100% behind the dread moose, and I utterly believe its existence. I'm not 100%.
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece of physical evidence. There's more.
What's the other evidence?
The recent surge in the moose population has hidden carnivores. The dread moose are effectively removing competition for both themselves and their evolutionary cousins.
So the problem is that ruminants, the reason they're ruminants is because of the food they eat is so hard to digest. But meat is kind of easier and more nutrient dense. So a ruminant eating meat, I mean, hypothetically they can, but as their primary food, they wouldn't really have to be ruminants anymore. They can get a more efficient... Well, their thing is efficient, but it doesn't make their metabolism fast. Well, it makes it okay, but like... Predators typically don't have ruminants for that reason, right? So... Or like their digestion isn't like all segmented like that. Because they don't need fermentation chambers. But why would it need it... But why would it need to hide its carnivorous nature? What exactly is the relationship between carnivorous moose and regular moose? Are they reliably eyewitness accounts of the moose? Nah, I'm gonna say... why would it need to hide it?
Moose are already being hunted for sport. Can you imagine what would happen if they came to be viewed as predators? The carnivorous moose are a very young species, the result of a genetic mutation that fared well in the process of natural selection.
I mean, he's weaving in truth and like kind of
sense
speculation.
Such a majestic animal with natural weapons, antlers, would come to rule the forest. The only strange thing is that it took so long.
He sees in a dread moose something perversely beautiful and just.
Are there any reliable eyewitnesses accounting of a moose killing other animal for food?
One slaughterhouse at the outskirts of the woods in Vasa reported that its staff kept seeing moose in the distance. The moose would just stare at the building, as though they were waiting for something, its eyes bloodshot and full of cruelty.
Does sound suspicious.
And that's not all. Some of the slaughterhouse apprentices went hiking by a nearby creek and saw a moose nibbling on an unidentified carcass.
I think that can happen. I think herbivores occasionally eat meat to supplement their diets.
Anyway, there is more than enough evidence to justify a thorough search for the dread moose. Let's close the subject before it turns into an argument.
Here is a man who has had more than his fair share of heated arguments, and would, surprising as it may seem, prefer not to have any more.
Which cryptid do you almost catch? You said before you almost caught one.
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialists would find rather dull.
What are willow people?
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees.
He says in self-explanatory, everyday manner.
They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
Wait, so I may have seen these willow people without knowing it?
You probably have.
How do you almost catch a willow people?
Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove.
And then?
I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
A lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone than to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined. Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
And Lena's sighting of the phasmid is that?
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
Just tell me about the cool cryptids, any cryptid.
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence.
He brushes an errant strand of hair from his eye.
By
Enough of this.
all means.
I'm gone. Oh, that was a long time.
Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center.
Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center.
You're at home, stupid cop. Not with the art crowd. You hate them. Everyone hates them. Even they hate themselves. It's nauseating. An industry built on sprezzatura and sparkling wine. And, let's be honest, tax evasion schemes. The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center is the heart of this unholy symbiosis of aesthetics and tax optimization. And now that you've internalized it, you can have a piece too.
Ooh, bonuses. Encyclopedia Pass gives 10 experience and 2 real. Ooh! Minus 2 suggestion. Pretentious wanker. Oh, man! God damn it, I was a pretentious wanker. Soggy log smells of ignition fluid. They still won't light up. You ever wish...
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer. Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Oh, that was
The
racist.
lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook.
That was freaking abrupt.
Yellow man. That sounds awfully familiar. Something to keep in mind for later.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Nobody's perfect. I'm sure you've been tempted to drink.
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revocol.
His gaze shifts between a pile of soggy logs in his feet.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard K, unlike other people.
Revocolt.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
You know anything about the man hanging behind the whirling in rags? Oh, is this your mug?
My mug? Why would you think that?
His eyes widen at the sight of the mug. He's seen it before, all right.
You said Yellow Man. That's not something many people go around saying. It seems as though you're calling to it longingly when you cried Yellow Man. I can see you recognize in your eyes. I'm gonna say, yeah.
Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone.
Just admit it, man. You put the mug in the trash container behind the frickin' whirling. Still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found in the scene of a lynching? Alright, I believe you. You look like a kind of man who knows it's a crime to lie to an officer. Ooh, I think that's the one.
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
This is how I get my money. Nah, Gary, I just want information.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info.
How'd you get into the trash containers?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanging behind the whirling in rags, into the trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Yes. What happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changed his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
The lieutenant remarked drolly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
I like that I'm wearing the gloves.
There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
Let's move on for now.
I hope I can help your investigation, in my small way.
Ooh. You said Revocolt.
I like to pronounce it the hard way. The old way. The Vespertine way.
Vespertine, eh?
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps. It's odd.
You know anything about the man hanging behind the whirling rags?
I told you everything I know, sir. I'm truly sorry for the mud, but I have nothing to do with that.
He's not feeling too comfortable in his own skin. Odd, I'd say.
Are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
We're surprised to see my colleague Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next races will be a really good one?
Yes.
Well, this is that racist.
Are you, Gary? Are you a racist?
Hey, man, all I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. I'm just stating a fact.
Just stating fact. That's the thing, right? Like, I mean, if you don't have the tact to realize that stating a fact right now is, not the thing, then I think you might be a racist, right? Just like doing it at inappropriate times. You have a problem with Sealites?
No problem at all.
I'm gonna keep going with this.
Do you remember how, when we met Measure... Well, this is that racist.
Hey, no.
Oh, god
No
damn it.
problem.
I clicked
Not
too
many
fast.
Do you remember how...
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
Hey, man,
Lieutenant is a
all
knave
I
of
meant was
Revachol.
there are not many Sealites around here. Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay?
Hey. So I have levels. I'll freaking redo my thing. Okay. Every time I look, I lose. So if I don't look, I'll win.
Is he? He's looking comfortable enough.
Ah, I
Maybe
failed.
it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what kind of beads might a man like Gary be hiding beneath his clothes?
Are those prayer beads I keep hearing?
I don't pray, officer. Faith in non-existent helpers is a sign of weakness. Not for proper Revacolian men such as ourselves.
Oh, you best believe I'm getting more composure. And we're doing that again.
I mean, officers.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it. I looked away and I failed.
That shirt
here we go.
looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Oh, is this guy wearing the armor that I want? Something worn underneath it?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did, and I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath, a thin layer of interlocking plates covering his gaunt torso.
This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Lieutenant's voice is icy. Give me that armor, now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Why do you really put the clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
He looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning, no one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Seolite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
He shakes his head.
It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Why did you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But...
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
He doesn't muster the strength to yell. You know who killed the hanged man?
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses. Lynched him because of the strike. But almost everyone in town knows that. I wish I could tell you more.
We are done here, Gary.
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. I did who put the clothes in the trash. Wow, thank you for your cooperation. Wow! Okay, that's actually good. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes crumbling. Okay. I go over here. Wow! Oh. What was that?
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
Wait, I can't see anything interesting about it.
You don't have a reason to. Yet.
What is it about it?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go.
What am I looking at? What the hell? Where am I? Did my camera break? This is number 11. Whoa. Why is my camera off? Whoa. Is there a way I could... Ah, there we go. Zoomed in a bit, fixed my camera. There we go. Okay, that was scary. I was like, did I break this game? Ooh, a bottle on the ground. Garbage. Some little thing. What's this? Money. Wonderful. Shack. No boat at the boathouse today. Awesome. Ooh. Superstar glasses. I'm a superstar. Oh, it's a trap.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same
around.
Behind you, the ruins of a residential building rise over the reeds, shielding them from the wind. The reeds rustle confidently.
Okay, so the camera thing happens. So zooming fixes it. Good. Thank you. Thank you. I was like, what the heck?
When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Nowhere for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. Now only the wind blows.
Reach for the trap.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
Damn, I was hoping to find it in the first one.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, okay.
Indirect modes of taxation.
Taxation. Jared?
Turns out, Those Financial Oversight Committee gangsters stuffed millions of hard-earned dividends away in the last place anyone thought to look. The hearts and minds of everyday Riversholians. You need to spread that deregulation gospel to the people. Tell them about that foreign fair tax.
Goddamn.
Preach that 98% gross. Preach it, preacher man. Set the brothers free. Taxes are racist.
Taxes are racist? I don't like that. -1 empathy. Thinks he's a hustler or something. Oh man, my empathy's so strong though. Ooh. Boop, 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 boo. Wait, where's my bag? Oh, I'm holding it. Okay, good. Dee 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 dee. Take that money. Do. Walking around, doing a lap. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench covered in rust.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Look at Kim. Even more bullet holes. Something definitely gone down here.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual. Even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense. Grim affairs. Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
Why not?
The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in this world.
Walk away. I gotta get my visual calculus up, right? Ooh, there we go. Visual calculus. Nice. Good. Hey, I'm gonna try it again.
A scattering of bullet holes
Wow.
is spread across the
Putting that on,
wall,
put it to 28%?
reaching from one corner to the other.
Let's give it a shot.
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound, no movement.
I don't know if I should be so happy of seeing this massacre, but I am. Very pleased. It wasn't automatic weapons, it was a firing line.
10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner. Automatic rifles primed.
Doesn't look
A gust
automatic.
of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. Droplets of rain fall on the wooden planks, the surrounding sand dunes. The clouds block out any rays of light. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Look at the people against the wall.
A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Ordinary people, familiar, each and every one of them.
Who were they?
Collateral damage on the path toward normalcy and progress. Such is your belief, officer. Maybe you should change it. They were praying, screaming.
Look at the line of soldiers.
7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people.
God damn it.
Soldiers from some side, but from which one? Men of duty, dark duty.
Who were they?
In all truth, violence offers no answer. It's only the last available resort when all mediation fails. And here, all did fail.
Look at the person standing on the side.
The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
Who was who in this execution, Kim?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Yeah, so the laugh track is funny. So, I'll explain why it keeps screwing around. Because, see this? This is a little, like, I got a sweet Bluetooth, like, thing, right? But they sometimes get out of my head, so I adjust them. But whenever I tap it, so I adjust it real quick just to make sure it doesn't fall in my head, they see that as like, oh, play the last media that was open. And the last media I had open was the laugh track. And it works good, because then, like, let's say I say a joke, like, why'd the chick cross the road to get to the other side? I could do something like this. Right? See, that's good. But I do weirdly have to manually go back and rewind it. So, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I like being able to have it, like, lined up. But the thing is I like when these dark situations, like right now, and they're like, oh yeah, they executed all these guys, and I do this. Like, for a second, I'm like, okay, fixing it to get back. Oh, it doesn't want to do it when I... See? That's all I want to do. I want to adjust it like that. Maybe adjust it like this. See? Perfect. But I guess when I'm doing it, it's just like... Oh, the beginning of it is also the worst part, because it's really like the swell of laughter. Oh, man. Anywho. What if it was the Feld personnel when their assets were being seized by the revolutionaries?
Another likely scenario.
What if it was the Feld things when their assets were being taken by the revolutionaries? Anytime. When those drunks were talking, no laugh track to be heard. It was just silence.
Or maybe.
Or maybe. You mentioned coalition forces. Could it have been them against the wall?
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall.
Oh, interesting.
To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
Goodbye.
Cold sea wind blows away the figures.
That was kind of crazy. That was a huge gamble. 28%. People paid money to park here. No one would pay now. Man, parking lots are they executed all the men. Yeah. Parking lots are a surprisingly good investment, honestly. Oh, I can't get over here. Because like all it is just like you sit there and it just collect money for it. Genius. If I like won $1 million and I had an opportunity to buy or like a parking lot in like a city, I would. Because it would be amazing. Oh, it's the Sunday friend. Oh my god. What time is it? I've been going that long already? Wowee. Gotta keep going though.
As you approach, the man turns and greets you with a polite wave. He appears completely at ease, like a common holidaymaker.
Ah, super. It's the officer. I was not expecting to run into you again, but things have a funny way of turning out, no?
I love this guy. I love his, it is your officer. Very French.
What brings you down to the scenic Martinez coast?
You never spotted him? Yeah, I got him. Actually, I was wondering what you're doing here.
Well, that's...
I think I lucked out.
I was visiting the fishing village just north of here. They have applied for a
Stand up
series
for a
of
second.
microloans to revitalize the old market. And well, I wish to see the situation firsthand.
Jeez. Just visiting, I've applied for several micro loans to revitalize the old market, and well, I wish to see the situation firsthand.
And then, well, I had some extra time on my hands, so I decided to stroll down here. It's quite peaceful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. Not quite my scene. You do know what the mass execution's right over there. Do you see the bullet holes in that wall over there? I'm gonna say, yeah, it's actually, there was something else I wanted to talk about. I'm just gonna say, yeah, lovely, because it seems nice. I want to be on this guy's good side.
Yes. There's nothing like a stroll along the coast to lift one's spirits.
You do know there was a mass shooting there, right?
Really? Here? How can you be sure?
It's sort of a gift I have. I can reconstruct things that happened in the past. High-end detective stuff, you know? All the walls over here covered in bullet holes. Oh, for one, that wall. Oh, jeez, I'm just mixing up my words. Blah, blah, blah. I stretched and now I can't talk. For one, that wall over there is covered in bullet holes.
Ah? Is that what those pockmarks are?
Pockmarks.
I might have guessed. Fascinating how much history is contained right here. If only one knows where to look for it.
Tiny Jonathan, you moving around? Oh, he went more under the blankets. That's so funny. Jonathan, the cat, when I first got here, he was super scared of me and didn't want to be pet or go under blankies. Now he's under blankies like crazy, getting all comfy cozies. Yeah, you can't see it, and the only reason like I wouldn't put my camera on it right now is because it just looks like a blanket. But I can see him just positioning himself. Okay, sorry. For what I thought this pockmarks, I'm gonna suggest found history contained right here. If I only knew what I was looking for. Okay.
You feel like there's something you could say here. If only you really knew what was going on.
Actually, there was something else I wanted to ask you.
Ah bon? I'm all ears, officer.
I need your help forming a committee. I'm trying to assign la responsibility.
My friend, if it's la responsabilité you're after, I have good news for you. There's no need to form such a committee, because it already exists.
Oh.
The Comité de Responsabilité de Revachol. It acts as a sort of clearinghouse for coalition activities. To put it simply, they are the ultimate arbiters of la responsabilité in this part of the world.
Yes, this is just the sort of reasonable authority you're looking for.
I would offer to connect you with the committee myself, but alas, I am not actually in Martinez.
What? Where is he then? You knew there was something strange about this one. He's an astral projection. A bureaucratic phantasm.
Hey, bureaucratic people. Makes me sick. One of my cats hates being under blankets. The other one snuggles under the duvet with me every night. It's funny, because Jonathan's kind of a meow boy. So he's always like, meow, meow, meow. But once you open the door for him, he just looks at you, rolls over, shows you belly. But recently, like, if I'm lying down, he'll, like, lie beside my leg. And just, like, kind of just be like... So it's fun. I like that. But yeah, he likes wandering around. Being a meow boy, meowing up, trying to get snacks all the time. This astral projecting, eh? What are you talking about? I'm looking at you right now. Attempt to stick your hand through his astral form. So, where are you then? No, I'm gonna do this one.
Of course, we are speaking informally, but officially, I am still in La Delta, preparing for an upcoming conference on fuel oil derivatives.
Fuel oil derivatives, interesting.
That's why it would be extremely irregular, or potentially even inappropriate for me to intercede with the committee concerning a district I'm not officially in.
Derivatives. I know in economics, to my understanding, a derivative is basically like a gamble that you're gonna... a thing's gonna go up or down. So you can, like, there's like a stock market, but you can buy, like, derivatives of it where you will buy the actual product in the future in hopes of it going up and down. And I believe that's what derivatives are. If I'm not mistaken. It's like if I had a pile of corn and then I had a piece of paper saying, hey, this corn in a month is going to be worth twice as much, and then I sell that. Like, it's like selling gambling receipts. And then you can cash it in a month, whatever your thing is. It's very interesting. It's a very convoluted system in a way that allows you to kind of muddy the water when you're transferring funds around, from my understanding. This is Earned Mana. I need to get in touch with that committee. How am I supposed to contact the committee then? Are you saying I should give up? How am I supposed to contact them?
Well, under ordinary circumstances, the committee contacts you. But if you have information of a vital interest, they might be willing to entertain an exception. In which case, I would advise you to contact them via Coalition Warship Archer.
What is Coalition Warship Archer?
Officer, you mean to say that you haven't noticed the giant Coalition aerostatic peacefully patrolling the skies over Revachol?
No, I haven't seen the sky.
You follow the man's gaze out toward the west. There, hanging some distance above the horizon, you can just make out a strange silhouette.
I don't see it.
It looks, to your eye, like some kind of long metallic fish suspended beneath a number of ceiling fans.
Freaking ape. They have cybernetics, but they don't know what a blimp is?
Don't let the paint job fool you. It's a goddamn killing machine, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Oh, it looks like a killing machine.
Well, of course it is a heavily armed and armored warship with a full complement. But I assure you its purpose in Revachol is to keep the peace, not disturb it.
Why do I need to go through Archer to speak to the committee?
You see, in addition to being an airborne artillery platform, Coalition Warship Archer is also the linchpin of the Coalition's surveillance and communications infrastructure in Revachol.
Hold on, it's watching us too?
And listening. It has the most objective vantage point in the entire city. Not to mention a vast array of radio, photographic, and meteorological monitoring instruments. I find it a great comfort to know there are benevolent powers watching over all, in strict accordance with the Wayfarer Act and the Bristlemune Convention.
So, how does one go about contacting the Coalition warship?
This is quite the problem. Very tricky. Of course, the Archer has orders to fire on any unidentified aerostatics that might approach it, so it might be safer to get in touch from the ground. But in that case, you would require a radio transmitter capable of broadcasting on Coalition frequencies. And that kind of technology naturally isn't typically available for non-Coalition use. Yes, it is a bit of a conundrum. I suppose there might be some way to circuit bend your way onto those frequencies, but you'd have to be one of those techno-tinkerers to do it.
You know any of these tinkerers?
Unfortunately not, no. I don't have the pleasure. I am merely a representative of the Coalition government, not very well versed in technology. But you...
Ah, good. Techno-tinkerers. Just what this side task was missing.
Let me just say that I have complete confidence in the RCA. I'm sure you'll figure something out.
Thank you for your time.
Always my pleasure to be of assistance to the RCA. Godspeed, and if we don't meet again, bonne chance.
My goodness, could that guy be more French? Interesting. Very interesting. This door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. People. What is this? Peepo? What's a peepo? Small wireframe inside of the futuristic flan peepo hat gives it. Oh, it's a hat! Ooh. And it gives me logic. Wow. Whoa! Look at how cool I am. Nah, but my hair is nice. Okay, good. I can go back to that drunk guy and do that quest because he wanted for the Headless Horseman, remember? Good stuff, good stuff. Nice! Frick, I found a lot of good stuff. You know what, so far this stream, it's been a lot longer than I expected because I thought I was going to get to 10 p.m. It's only freaking 2 in the afternoon still. In the game. And it's actually like noon here. I can tell because my tummy's getting hungry. Like, where's that drunk? Gotta run this marathon. Wait a sec, this is a new area. Hey. Oh, goodness me, goodness gracious. Whew. Ooh. I got like shivers from sneezing. What is this? Flower trowel where nothing really grows, maybe in spring. Oh, I'm back here with these damn kids. Running around. Whoa. That's clothes. Give me that. I want to let me pick it up. Huh, I have to walk the whole way around to look at that puddle? Goodness me. Okay. Oh, I can walk through this grass. That's like the first grass I can walk through. Come on. What? Is it because Kim's in the way? Kim, can you get out of the way, please? Huh. Okay. It's a yellow circle that just doesn't want to be clicked. Good, I'm glad I did that. Let's see here. Little fish huddled around the fence post and they scattered into the dark. As fish do. Do. Oh, I don't know if I've even been over here. Is this new stuff? Looks new to me. Whoa. Oh, what's this?
You see that seagull up there? Remind you of anybody?
No one comes to mind?
You and the seagull are just alike.
Why am I a seagull?
Think about the seagull's story. It's one of endurance and adaptation. The seaside was paradise once. They were birds of that paradise. Then their paradise became shit city. And what did they do? They became urban survivors, eating burgers out of trash cans, killing and eating pigeons. No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done. They're one pair of track pants away from gangsters, just like you.
Hold on, have I ever eaten a burger out of the trash?
You have. The body remembers.
Ugh. I mean, effing right. Whatever it takes to survive. I'm the seagull. I'm not like that. I'm still romantic. I guess I'm a little bit. No, I am the seagull.
Own it. Steal hot dogs. Shit in the sand. Whatever it takes to keep going.
I am the seagull. Oh, wait a sec. This is the church. The church that they mentioned. Okay. So I'm getting some bearing here a bit. Look at this little bird. That's me. Must have been taking a lot of patience to do this. Oh, another person.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
General Kenobi, right? From Star Wars? Yeah?
It's cold out here.
Or memes.
But she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing.
I'm not wearing a hat.
Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Dear child, it's freezing. Where is your hat?
Huh?
Looks you distracted. I said you should have had that on.
So should you.
You don't have to do anything.
Come to think of it, I should. Where would it have gone? I don't have to do anything. Come to think of it, I should. Where would I get one around here?
I don't know. Some kind of a store? Maybe a general store? Look, man. Fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises.
Anger.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
My authority's always so low. That kind of language really necessary.
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
What's your name?
Estelle.
What's your surname?
Why?
I'm from the police. It's for paperwork.
Okay, it's Berger.
A Selberger.
You have little reason to doubt that's her real name. But she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning, is she?
What device you got, sir?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Nice. You could maybe bug someone with it. Wiretapping.
How does it work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where do you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
What's the Palaceum?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Whoa!
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
That sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
Hey, didn't Piss and Fuck the World mention Van Eyck too?
Oh yeah, they did. Is it like a skull thing?
A skull thing? Man, you sound like 100 years old when you say that.
No, you don't. She's mistaken you for an old person. Say you're cool.
On second thought, let's just get back to the contact mic.
Yes?
Actually, I had some non-mic questions to ask you.
Okay.
What are you doing here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
What is it you're recording?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
Wait, what happened to your headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What?
I don't
What
know,
for?
man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
Everything checks out, sire.
And what are they recording for? The cracks? The footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Ah, interesting.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
Drop the shoulders and look around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device. The thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish. Very useless all of a sudden. The sharp drop in endorphins is almost visible. Like a warm blanket has fallen off her shoulders. The wave of chill. The quivering jaw. Indications of a drug high.
Take this, you're called.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Now this is where a hat would be handy. Said you're supposed to be a music place? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you were right about the hat.
You said you're supposed to be a music place. What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid.
The
It's
boys?
really- Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
Oh, interesting. I had some other questions.
Go ahead.
Man, I do have good empathy. Tell me about the music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become, like, a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah,
Sure, because the old wooden church on top of the poles has meant the wind come bellowing in. The 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for Anodic music here. Not in a million years.
What is Adonic music? Dance music.
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Electronic instruments, like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes.
Sounds like the beginning of oh shucks, what was it? Is it just called noise music, where they take sounds from the environment? I know in some kind of electronic music they use like drills and stuff. Very dubstep. But it's weird. I can't get a gauge on what year this is. I thought this was like the 70s. Makes sense though, tape recorders, but they also have cybernetics. So, what do you turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, you two are cops.
No, we're police. Yeah, why would you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys. Because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
We'll see. I prefer to remain non-committal. The 51st year of the current century. Oh! I was gonna say, wait, 51st year of the current century. For some reason, when you said that, it reminded me of different calendars. So, you know we go on the Gregorian calendar, right? Like, that's why we're in, like, 2023. But there are other calendars, kind of like, I believe there's, like, the Jewish one, and we're in, like, 4,200, I want to say? 4,000? It's interesting. It's interesting. So that's what, for a moment, when I saw that, and you said the 51st of the current century, I thought you were talking about, for some reason, I thought you said 51st century, and I was like, whoa, is that the Jewish calendar? And then I was like, wait a minute. I don't think it maps onto our history at all. Yeah, I don't think so. Either. I think there's parallels, right? Like, I think this is supposed to be like a war-torn France kind of thing, but they kind of changed the names a bit with alternate history and different things. But yeah. Strange. It's kind of like retrofuturism, in a sense. Like, it seems like there's things in the past, but there's also things in the future. Like, it's odd. Like the cars. Anyways. I'll talk to them.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Did you put the padlock onto the church door?
No.
No.
Not really, no.
Or the sticker on your ledger. So, this isn't yours.
It's Noid's.
Wait. Is this Noid a friend of yours? Why did this Noid person put it? Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Why did he put it on the church door?
To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about them, he'll tell ya.
Alright, enough of the church. I had another question.
Go ahead.
Seems surprisingly comfortable with being questioned. Why is that?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Been questioned before?
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revachol experience they get east of the river.
What's east of the river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
Look awestruck. Who are these rich people? They sound wonderful. I'd love to be one too. Bet they're really rich. They must be very special people to be so rich. I say with a sneer. Lean in and whisper. Let me guess. These rich people are not from round here. Strange. The existence of rich people does not stir any emotion in me. Oh, good. Okay, good to know. I'm gonna sneer, because I do sneer at rich people. But I do want to be one.
Oh, they are. And I'm scum.
You're not scum.
Oh, but I am.
So, what trouble you've gotten into with the police?
The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager.
What's the use?
You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13. In Forberg.
Faubourg? What is Faubourg?
Is this a rhetorical question?
No, I literally can't remember even the most basic terms sometimes.
Faubourg, not in Faubourg, is a massive banlieue south of Jamrock Quarter. It is the largest ghetto in Revachol, possibly the world.
I know what Jamrock is. Let's say I didn't, though. Why did you have to move out when you were so young?
We are Jamrock, sort of. Martinez is called North Jamrock sometimes. Jamrock is also a ghetto, only smaller than Faubourg.
And why did you have to move out when you were so young?
My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
Get my party on. Wait a sec. Does this lady have an English accent, kinda? Little bit? I mean, it's definitely not my voice, whatever I am. My beautiful, crisp Canadian accent. But it's also not French. Let me double check. I'm gonna have to listen to her again. I get that the majority part... I get that. I'm a major party animal myself. Major. Drinking, partying, and disco music are bad for you. You should take me as a warning example. Yeah, I thought so too. 100%. Whereabouts, you think? It doesn't sound northern to me. The only reason I know northern is because my friend who, one of my friends, he, was from, what was it again? Newcastle. And he was, from Newcastle, it's just south of Scotland. And he had his, Geordie accent, I believe it was. This isn't Geordie. South Londonish? Yeah, it does. Sounds a bit posher, innit? I love my fake, crappy English. Nothing brings me more joy than because, like, it's a little fascinating to me that, like 15 kilometers away, people sound different in like Europe or England apparently. So I've been told, and in Canada it's so massive, right? 15 kilometers is nothing. Like freaking, you take a bus and it's 15 kilometers. So and everyone sounds like the same as this, right? Definitely not Geordie, yeah, right? So it baffles me that like England has like so many different accents, like a 10-minute drive away from each other, but like Canada, like all of British Columbia, where I was like from and born, like the West Coast, right? It's massive. It's massive. Way bigger than like all of the the whole country combined. No difference. And I think that's just because of how English propagated through Canada anyways, you know, came over here and we basically sound like older English people from back in the day, and that's how they sound apparently. It's very interesting. We could talk about it all the time. But anyways, I just find that funny. South London. Oh, God! See, I'm adjusting my ears. Wow, I've been going for 3 hours? Okay. Jeez. Been having too much fun. See, this is what happens. These streams get too long and then it's impossible to edit. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to wrap this up. I'm gonna say I'm a major party animal.
Alright.
That's all for me for now.
Okay. Bye.
We gotta get my empathy up. Empathy. Empathy. Oh, there we go. Oh, yes. Drama. Okay, so this is as good as my stuff's gonna go.
Hello again.
Oh, Frank, that was pretty nice. Okay, I looked straight at it last time it worked.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
Also, so I'm sure you've heard before, it's like, oh, the Canadian accent, they have a whole bunch of... Never heard of it. It's a myth. That's freaking marketing. You're never gonna hear it. The Canadian accent is this. No one's ever said a boot in my life. I was actually talking to my friend about it. It's really interesting about accents. Because, like, I don't think there's a fair Canadian accent. I think, like, some guy from, like, 1950 was recorded, and then, like, people think it. And that's kind of what happened with pirate accents. Like, someone was like, "Yar, I'm a pirate." And that was, like, the first movie recording and audio of it, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's what pirates sound like forever." And, like, that's it. And I think it's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. Very bizarre accents. It's also kind of weird that there isn't, because there is huge differences. Because, like, a guy from Ontario, which is, like, 2,000 kilometers east of BC, sounds exactly pretty much the same as me from BC, which is, like, really far away. Like, that would be like talking countries way in, like, Europe, right? Yeah. So the Canadian accent, or whatever, like the BC one that I have, is just a neutral American accent. Like, even when I talk to Americans have more accents. They have, twangs. They're like, "Howdy, y'all," rah, 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 stuff like that. Or, like, one of my pals in Oklahoma has a bit of an accent, but it's different. It sounds more like they enunciate every vowel. Someone said something, like, about, they'd be like, "About." It's a Bristol accent. I love that. Oh, yeah, those dirty pirates, those are just Bristol. Yar, you guys want a coffee? Just getting, like, Starbucks in Bristol. Anywho, I digress. I gotta finish this and wrap this up because I need to have my segmented videos to be about the same length. Or else the YouTube algorithm will hate me. Actually, that's not true. They just care about me having something every day. But my analytics are interesting. Yeah, I can't get distracted. Gotta get back to the game. Anywho, okay. The device is still warm for the touch and the heavy as a brick. The batteries included, the logo, the Omicron. What is this? The COVID variant? Adores its plastic kettle covered inside of the tape before going to get the device in your hand. Okay, I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice with the drug wearing off at your age, or at any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide.
Gotta be careful not to get the laugh track.
Amount of makeup.
The people who built the world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It's easier to live in their failure with this by your side. Tap on the tape recorder.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
Not a childish fantasy. It could be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
Her shoulders shake a little. The dark.
I know. I'll stick to it.
Her teeth rattle. Takes the device from you and places it in her lap.
Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
I love that. I love that my clothes literally make the man here. So, like, it was just like, okay, I need to get some empathy here. I put on a trench coat, put on some glasses. I'm like, listen, I'm a human. And she's like, I believe that.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
You said eating me. There's nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
Yes, there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
The plight of the working class? No, I don't care about the working class. Everyone's just mooching off the entrepreneurial classes, shackling the doers. No, I don't agree with that either, because I think the doers are overrepresented, and they think that just because they have beautiful marketing. I think it's all these foreign people taking jobs. That's what's racist. Don't agree with that? People just keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good. I do agree with this. Because it's a bit more vague.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no one understands that sometimes you gotta make sacrifice to the sake of progress. It's really very distressing.
So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress.
Oh! Clarkson Farm. I know that. That's, Top Gear Man, right? I haven't watched the Carson's Farm, but, Bill, who occasionally comes on my stream, one of my friends, he said he's watched it and loved it. Clarkson Farm. Okay, so that's the eating you. Slow pace of social progress. But yeah, I think English accents are funny. You know another accent that sounds more akin to the English than, like, it's more grumbly? Dirty old, like, Australian accents. Oh, I love that. I got about it. It's my favorite. My favorite. The more bogan, the better. It's awesome, but nobody understands Geralt. I'll check it out. I've been meaning to watch that show. I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it. Are they worth watching? I haven't watched Top Gear for a long time. I think the last time I watched it, they were driving through canals or something? Jesus. It must have been 2010, maybe? I watched it. Top Gear. I'd love to get back into it. The Stig. My friend Nick, who occasionally shows up on the stream too, he loved it. I remember he did we were in university and we had to do an English topic once. And like he did it about the Stig from there, like a character. It was funny. I loved it. I think it's better than Top Gear. Ooh, I like that. The thing with Top Gear is I wasn't a car guy. I just liked the show because I liked the personality. So maybe it would be even more fun for me to watch. I like that. Alright. I gotta finish this. Dialogue. Having too good of a time. So, that's what's been eating you. So, no. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for slow and steady progress. I just wish people would be a little more reasonable is all. It's probably not it. Is it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I had some questions. Something, Tyler. Oh, probably. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you're not that upset, it sounds like.
I told you, I'm highly distressed by the state of affairs.
Uh-huh. And you're sure it's social progress you're distressed about, and not, I don't know, some chick?
You're right. This is a South London accent. Sounds like someone who I would hear doing England rap. Like, oh, Brevin, I got a chair around here. Yeah, it does. You're right.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. I'm positive. Now that I had some questions for you, before all this started.
Go ahead.
I'm actually gonna leave. I have some questions for you. Actually, I'm gone. I'm gonna check out this stick. Then I have to wrap it up. Painted with pastel, someone's trying to bring cheer into this world. Crash from some unended party. Hole screwed into ice keeps the tent erect. More tribalistic markings, post covered in little humanoids. Humanoids. Save. Perfect. Main menu. Well, now this brings me to the end of the stream. Thanks so much for coming here, Sizaki. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of Tzatziki. You know, the dip? Greek. Honestly, I thought it was more of when I saw Sizaki, I thought it was, shucks, where was I thinking? Yeah, it's been really fun. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, man, I like it. I'm gonna do it every day. I stream every day for the most part. Unless I get a little spooked or something happens. You know, whatever. But I do. And check out the YouTube. I can't stop posting about it because I have to... For some reason, I think my YouTube is more representative of my stuff. Because I can check the analytics easier. Because I think streams have less passive traffic. Meaning like, okay, a person won't typically come into a live stream usually. But occasionally will watch a YouTube. Anyhow, just a joke. You know, actually, tell your friends. Once I'm super famous, you never know. You never know. I love this. Okay. So, be prepared. YouTube analytics are addictive, though, right? It's because I recently got 72 or 71 people. So I was just like, ooh. And then I looked on Social Blade and it said I was like in the top like 80% of Canada. And I was just like, my goodness. So it's just like little ego boosts here and there. Oh! There's the Wave Out song. Thanks for showing up. Watch how fast I can wave though. It's like a helicopter blade.